What's up, YouTube? It's Dylan, and today I wanted to talk about abundance and what the Bible has to say about abundance. Now, to preface this video, when I speak of abundance, it applies to anything you want. If you are in financial lack and you want more money, that you might want an abundance of money. If you're in poor health, then you will want an abundance of health. If you have a lot going on in your mind, and just generally struggle throughout the day, you would want an abundance of peace. So when I speak of abundance, it is whatever it is that you want, really, and you want it in abundance. It's not only referring to money, but it is such a simple example. That's what I will use throughout this video. And I just wanted to make that very clear because this verse that I'm going to share with you guys does not say money, it just says abundance. So it can apply to anything you want. And the verse that I'm going to share with you today is Matthew 13:12. And it says, "For whoever has, more will be given to him, and he will have abundance. And whoever does not have, even that which he has will be taken from him." Now, on a surface level, this could seem like, why would God want to, you know, give more to the rich and take away from the poor? And as I said, that is a very surface level read of what this verse in the Bible means. Because it's not talking about, if you have millions of dollars in your bank, then you're going to automatically get more money. Obviously, we can see people win the lottery, get hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes, and then they can lose it all. So that's obviously not the case. And it doesn't mean that the rich or the poor people are always going to be taken from that because they don't have money. It's going to be taken away. That's not what it means. Because another opposite example is there's been plenty of poor people that have turned their lives around and eventually made millions of dollars. As I said, it's not just money. It can apply to health, social, experience. If you want more friends, it can apply to the peace in your mind, basically whatever you want. But it's a very simple example to use money. So that's what I will continue to use the rest of this video. And with the example that I share, it's interesting. I didn't even think about bringing it up, but it's cool to talk about. People win the lottery. They win hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think the statistic is 70 to 80% of people who win the jackpot, which is tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, eventually lose it all and go completely broke and back into the situation they were in before they won the lottery, or worse, because now they probably don't have a job and maybe they're even in debt. And so it was like, why did that happen? Of course, there's bad financial spending habits. There's a lot of things in this world that you could point to, which are valid and they're true, I'm sure. But I think that the root cause of why somebody can have that much money and have it all taken away from them, as it says in the Bible, for whoever has, to him more will be given and he will have abundance. To whoever does not have, even that which he has, hundreds of millions of dollars, will be taken from him. And what does it mean by this? Maybe you're kind of getting an idea so far, but just to lay it out very clearly, what it means is for whoever has abundance in their mind, whoever has the consciousness of abundance. And so when it comes to money, you have a prosperity consciousness. You don't believe money is hard to get. You don't believe that it always, it comes and then all of it goes, oh, I spend my whole paycheck every time I get it. You don't believe in financial lack, to put it simply. You do believe in the circulation of money. You do believe that there is plenty of money out there, more than enough to go around. You believe that you have skills that are worthy of being exchanged for money, and you believe that money is easy to make, or at least it's not a struggle. And so related to that example I gave about people who win the lottery and lose it all, why did they lose it? Now, we cannot pinpoint it's this specific belief or reason, but we can say generally as a broad kind of generalization that if you get over $100 million and you lose it all, you absolutely, without a doubt in my mind, you have a consciousness of lack, meaning you don't believe in abundance. And something in you subconsciously wants to get rid of that money because maybe you don't believe you're worthy of it. I'm not really going to go into different examples, but just to put it very simply, anybody who loses money like that, or anybody in your life that you know or yourself that it seems like money's always flowing from you and it's hard to have enough, then you, my friends, have a consciousness of lack. And I share this from a place of empathy and compassion because I've struggled with this a lot in my past. And that's why I said that this Bible verse is one of the most profound transformations for me, along with a lot of other things that I've learned. Basically saying the same thing, like you cannot become wealthy if you have a lack mindset. If you feel afraid of spending money, if you are worried about not being able to pay the bills, if you have a scarcity mindset. And now, certain things in this world are valid. If you genuinely have a hard time paying for food, that is a valid concern, of course. And I pray that nobody here has that problem. And I pray for all the people that do have that problem. But I don't believe that the answer ultimately is in working harder and getting more money. Because as with the example I showed, literally, you can look it up yourself. If you're on a computer, open a new tab, pause this video, open a new tab, look up the percentage of lottery winners, jackpot lottery winners that lose everything. It's 70, maybe 80% of them. And why is that? It's because of what I've already shared, that it doesn't matter how much you have in your bank account. It doesn't matter how much you have materially, because the law of mind, the law of consciousness is the law. And it is stated in the verse that I shared with you, for whoever has, more will be given to him. Whoever has in their mind, whoever has the consciousness of having the thing desired, whoever has the consciousness of abundance, of seeing the abundance in the world, instead of seeing the lack in the world, more will be given to him, and he will have abundance. And whoever does not have, so whoever has the consciousness, the mindset, the beliefs of scarcity, of there's never enough to go around, always have to struggle to live, to him, even that which he has will be taken away. And I promise, from my own experience, my own reflections, that this is the truth. You can look back on it, on your life, and it shows up, of course, in different ways for different people. Some people have no problem with money, but then their health is really bad. Some people have no problem with their health or their relationships, but then their money is really bad. It applies to different areas of your life, as I say. It's not just financially. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to share with you guys. But I do want to share, before this video ends, a simple tip to be able to start to shift your mindset from lack, whether it's lack of health, lack of peace, lack of money, lack of the material things that you want. Shift your mindset from lack to abundance, to prosperity. And it's something you can do all throughout your day, which is why I love this, that I'm going to share with you. And at first it might seem kind of silly, possibly, to some of you. You might be like, oh, well, what's the point of that? Like, I need money, like, eh. And I just want to say, just try it out with some faith and consistency throughout your day as much as you possibly can, especially if you have thoughts come up. Maybe you're at the grocery store or you're paying a bill or your rent or whatever, and you just have thoughts and feelings come up. Oh, this is a lot. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. Oh, I don't want to get rid of this money. then remind yourself of these things I'm going to share with you. So, throughout your day, especially when you're outside is the easiest time to do this, in my opinion. You can just look around and observe abundance. It is that simple. It's not an affirmation technique, which I love. It's not a visualization technique, which I also love. It's no tarot cards, no full moon ceremony. No, just go outside, or every time you are outside, look around you and observe abundance. And I'll give you some examples. If you are anywhere where there is trees, grass, can you count the blades of grass? Can you count the leaves on the trees? Can you count all the individual plants? Or maybe if you're somewhere more deserty, I'm in Utah and there's a combination of, a good amount of plants and deserts. If you were somewhere more deserty, can you count all the sand, all the individual pieces of sand, or on the beach? Or if you look up in the sky at night and you're not in a city with a lot of light pollution, can you count the stars? How can you measure the fresh air that we have to breathe? Think about that. Have you ever gone a second in your life without being able to breathe? Now, maybe if you're underwater or if somebody's choking you, hopefully that's never happened. But day to day life, have you ever gone even a single millisecond without being able to breathe? And again, maybe if you're around fires or smoke or something, then it's a little bit different, but the fresh air is still there. And you cannot count the blades of grass in even one tiny little park. If you want to do that, good luck. You're probably going to spend a couple months. And even then, you wouldn't be able to do it. Can you measure the amount of water that is in the ocean? What about the amount of water that falls out of the sky as rain or snow? I mean, here in Utah, in the mountains, it gets like 500 inches of snow on average. Can you count the snowflakes in that snow? No. Like, these things are impossible. Can you count the planets in the galaxy, in our Milky Way galaxy? Can you count the amount of galaxies in the observable universe? If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up, because the numbers are mind-blowing. It's insane. And so all of these things, it's like, well, why are you sharing this with me, Dylan? This has nothing to do with me making more money, if that is the case. But I would argue to the contrary. It actually has everything with you aligning yourself with the law that I shared earlier, with whoever has, more will be given to him, and he will have an abundance. You want to align yourself with the consciousness of having, with the consciousness of observing and being aware of abundance. If you go back on my YouTube channel, there's something I posted a little while ago about what you are aware of is what shows up in your life. So if you take your attention away from lack, take your attention away from scarcity, and you place your attention on abundance, even in these ways that I shared with you, it seems small or insignificant, but it will change your life, I promise you. Because this universe is a universe of abundance. Lack is just a mental concept that we've created as human beings. I will say, that there are certain powers in the world that try to limit certain resources to people. 100%, that is a thing. But we have power over that. And if we have it in consciousness, it will show up in the screen of space in our life. And I will reference the last video that I shared is, I'm pretty sure it was the last one. Yeah. About whatsoever you pray for, Whatsoever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and you shall have it. And so if you believe in the abundance around you, you shall have it. More will be given to you and you will have an abundance. And I promise you that this will not fail as long as you, throughout the day, keep your mind occupied by thoughts of abundance. Literally, anytime it comes up, anytime a thought of, how am I going to pay this bill? Or, ooh, I'm not making enough money, or whatever it may be. Once you notice it, immediately stop it in its tracks. Reorient your attention to something as simple as like, oh wow, look at this field. I cannot possibly count the blades of grass in this field. And how many fields are on the earth? That's another thing I can't even count. And so it's just constantly training our mind towards a consciousness of abundance, because this has been one of the things personally, and I can share more of my story in the future, but this has been one of the things personally I have struggled with the most, is shifting out of the consciousness of lack and scarcity into abundance. And that's why I know that these things work. And the most important thing, this is what I'll end it with for this video. The most important thing is what I just kind of shared. If you do, for example, you do some affirmations, or you go outside and you start observing the abundance and you just feel really good, you just feel good. And then you have these thoughts come in of financial lack and scarcity. If you entertain them, if you give them power and give them weight and give them the meaning that, just basically if you just believe them, your affirmations and then the practice that I shared with you will not have the impact that it needs to have. And that is, I'll be blunt with you guys, that is probably the hardest part of this work of changing our minds, is the daily reminders and the daily reconditioning of our attention. Naturally, through so many conditions and patterns and habits in the past and behaviors and thoughts and beliefs, our attention goes to what we're used to. So if you're used to focusing on financial lack, it is just going to naturally flow there, kind of like water naturally flows downhill, and it will go into the biggest kind of cavern, I guess you could say, or biggest rut. And that's how canyons are formed. And when it's a canyon, then it flows even easier. And so, trust me, I know it can be hard, but it will pay off. And over time, that canyon that you've formed in your mind of financial lack will be filled in and replaced with the canyon of abundance. And the water of your attention, this is just a metaphor I'm coming up with on the spot, but the water of your awareness, the water which is your awareness, in consciousness and thoughts, feelings, will naturally, effortlessly, easily flow down the canyon of abundance consciousness. And yeah, I hope you guys watched this whole video. If you did, like, subscribe, comment down below, share with other people who might get some benefit from it. Spread this message to as many people as we possibly can. What I want to do on this channel is create a community of people who are just committed to evolving, growing, and resonate with what I have to share. And thank you guys for watching this whole video. You're awesome. I love you. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.